If you are starting 2026 motivated, disciplined and ready to train, but you have that little fear that you're going to train hard, but you're going to look the same at the end of next year, today's video is for you. I'm not talking to beginners who never train. I'm talking to men over 30 that already do something. Mainly bodyweight and calisthenics training, pull-ups, push-ups, squats. You sweat and you work hard, but somehow your body doesn't change like it should. And here's why. Most men don't fail because they don't work hard. They usually fail because their training has no structure that forces adaptation. Bodyweight training exposes that faster than anything else. Because you can train hard every day, you feel exhausted, but you have no measurable progress. Let me describe exactly what this looks like. And if any of this is you, stay with me. You train 3-4 times a week, sometimes 5 times, and then life hits and you miss a few days. So you restart on Monday, you change some exercises, you add a new circuit, and then you go harder than you're used to make up time. And you end up every session feeling really tired, but somehow nothing is moving. Or you're the guy who loves conditioning, so you train in circuits because it feels athletic. So you do get fitter, but you don't get stronger or more muscular. Or you're simply really busy. Family, work, a life besides training. And you want a plan that adapts to it. But every plan you find out there is either too complicated, rigid, or falls apart as soon as you miss a single session. And if you want 2026 to be different, you need a system that survives real life. So in the next 2 minutes, I will give you a simple framework that will make 2026 different. Simple enough to follow and flexible enough to fit every schedule out there. And at the same time, it's structured enough to force progress. I've shared that already in another video, but today we are going to speak about another kind of variation of the repetition method. Everything in that program starts with one number. Step number 1 is the piece that most home workout or calisthenics routines are missing, a baseline. Before starting with the program, I want you to test a max set for 4 different movements. 1 push movement, 1 pull movement, 1 squat movement, and a core movement. Doesn't matter too much which movements you choose. Just choose 4 where you can get a decent amount of reps in. And the point is not the number we get. The point is that your training now has a reference point. And without this, you're usually just guessing. Guessing is the reason why most men look the same year after year. On to step number 2. This is the rule that makes everything plug and play. Take your max number of each movement and multiply it by 3 to 5. Gives you a total rep target for each session. As an example, if your max set of push-ups is 20 reps, your rep target for each session is 60 to 100. I will explain you how exactly to use it in a minute. But now you have a workout structure and goal that is measurable. So no complicated structure, no spreadsheets, just something you can follow. And do the same with other movements you have tested. As an example, the pull-up, a weight-based air squat, and toes to bar. The question now is how to hit the total in every session. And the truth is, it doesn't really matter. You get there flexible. That's exactly why it works, even for busy men out there. You can hit the total in small sets, big sets, in circuits, in an EMOM style workout. It doesn't matter too much. The rule is simple. The reps are fixed and the format is flexible. And now I want to change this program for 2026 a bit compared to my last video. So I've used this format, but I said, okay, I want to get in a few sets up to muscle failure and do some style of conditioning training every single day. So here's the exact structure I recommend for most men over 30. Each session has one key muscle focus. Basically one movement that gets real attention. So on one training day, we would start with a pull-up. And what we would do is 4 to 5 sets to muscle failure with a 2 to 3 minute rest in between. Hard, honest, clear reps. And after these sets, you finish the session with some kind of circuit training with the remaining lifts. And you do that by using the rep system. So when we have used the pull movement as the key movement of our session, we go into the rep system for the push, for the squat or hinge pattern movement, and for the core, and just hit our rep target for these. So due to the fact that most of the sessions are going to be sub-maximal, it's repeatable and sustainable because it's not going to create too much fatigue. So I want you to do full body every session you do, and maybe alternate the movements however you want, but the rep targets stay the same. And that means you can train full body 3 to 7 times per week, depending on your life and goals. Just adapt the intensity of each session and go after it. It fixes the guy who trains randomly because you have a baseline to hit and to follow. It fixes the guy who only does conditioning because we have some forced hard sets early in the session. It fixes the guy who burns out because most of the sessions and the majority of the volume of the sessions is sub-maximal. Fixes the guy who restarts every week because there's nothing to restart. You just stick to the framework and follow it week after week. Now, the most important rule, and that's where most guys sabotage themselves. Do not change the structure for 4 weeks. Same rep targets, similar movements, same format, or just use simple A-B format because your body needs repeated stimulus to adapt. By week 3 or 4, the same training will feel a bit easier. And that's not stagnation, and most guys get that wrong. That's your body actually growing, getting stronger, getting fitter for life. And that's progress. And exactly when that is happening, we shouldn't change anything. We should just keep going with the same system. For most guys, that sounds too simple, but that's how it works. And then after 4 weeks, do one of 2 things. Either you retest your numbers and update your rep targets for each session, or you keep the numbers and you just change the variations of the movements to keep it fresh. That's the framework. And now let me say the real message of this video. 2026 won't be different because you found a harder workout schedule. It will be different because you stop relying on motivation and you found a structure that can work and compounds over time. If you want a calm or a really simple version of training structure that works, just follow this. And I want 2026 to be a really strong and simple year for every man in the BuiltSimple community. So if you have some helpful tips to share with other men in here, I would love to hear about it. Training tips, nutrition tips, learnings you had in 2025. I think everything that could help other men is appreciated. And I would love you to share that in the comments below this video. It's helping other guys and it's helping me to reach more people out there and push this video. Welcome to BuiltSimple. I'm Marcus, and my entire goal with this channel is to simplify fitness for busy men over 30 out there. See you in the next video, guys. Happy New Year.